On Friday, VP Kamala Harris is expected to unveil her economic proposals in her first policy speech while campaigning in North Carolina. It will mark the first time Harris has released a major policy initiative since becoming the Democratic presidential nominee. Joining us right now to discuss this is former White House economic advisor Steve Moore. Good morning to you, sir. You know, her campaign officials say she's going to make tackling inflation a day one priority. Critics argue she's in office now, so why hasn't that been a priority the past few years? We can look at the chart right here. You made a very good chart. Inflation has been 3 times higher under the Biden-Harris administration. Let's take a look at that. What do you make of this?
So
day one priority.
I think, John, the argument here for Republicans is, as you just said, that you've been in office, Kamala, with Joe Biden for 1,250 days, and we've had this catastrophic increase in inflation. By the way, don't forget that inflation was 1.5% when Trump left office, and then it went up to 9% under Harris and Biden. And I think it's going to be a tough sell, frankly, for her to say, well, I have a plan. And if they have a plan, why don't they put it in place right now? She has been talking a lot about going after, quote, greedy corporations and price gouging. I don't think that's actually the solution to this problem. American businesses are also facing higher prices, Jan. So they're passing a lot of those higher costs on to consumers because the price of everything is more expensive.
This is true. And according to a CBS News poll, 45% of registered voters say they'd be financially better off with the former president compared to 25% for Harris. At her Nevada rally, Harris did pitch a similar idea as Trump to eliminate taxes on tips. But what about her track record showing she's done the opposite while in office, backing an IRS crackdown on tipped workers?
That's a great point, Jan. You know, it is, but I guess imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I guess Trump should be flattered that Kamala Harris has basically adopted the Trump policy. By the way, when Trump announced this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, you may recall all of Kamala's Democratic friends trashed the idea, but then they discovered it was popular. So now Kamala says she wants to do it herself. But the interesting part of this story is that the Biden administration, when they hired those 50,000 new IRS agents, a big part of that was to track down tipped workers and make sure they were, harassing those tipped workers and making sure that they're paying their fair share. Incidentally, my first job, Jan, when I was 17 years old, was a car parker. So I made all my money on tips. And the way that would work is most people work for a tip job. You'd come home with $40 or $50 a night in your pocket. How is the IRS ever going to track down that kind of money?
It's an honor system, which we know you were very honest about that, because that's the whole. It is. It's really an honor system, and so there was that. That's why this was so interesting. That there was this idea to have the IRS crack down on tipped workers because of what you just said. How can you prove that? Now, she also didn't say she supported broad legislation to get rid of those taxes on tips, but rather she actually said it was part of a broader package to also increase minimum wage, which we've seen what it's done to businesses and workers in California, right? Huge job losses, thousands of businesses shutting down.
Great point, Jen. I mean, this is probably a really bad time to be raising the minimum wage when, you're right, we just have a big experiment with I think it was $20 an hour minimum wage in California for McDonald's workers and Wendy's workers and food service workers. And guess what happened? I think over 10,000 California low-income people lost their jobs because the businesses couldn't afford to pay those rates. And in fact, a lot of those small, remember, a lot of those franchises for these fast food restaurants, they're owned by small businessmen and women. A lot of them went out of business because they couldn't afford it. So raising the minimum wage can oftentimes destroy a business and destroy jobs.
And again, there's still no word on how this would be paid for, because she has not indicated she would claw back unspent COVID funds. I know you've mentioned that as a solution if we did get rid of the taxes on tips. And she's not going to scale back any green energy initiatives, right? I mean, in 2019, she called for a ban on fracking, and critics say, she's been leading the charge to get rid of fossil fuels. So what do you think we could expect her to say about her energy proposals?
Well, listen, I mean, people should go into the voting booth in November with their eyes open. And Kamala Harris has an extremely left-wing agenda. And, she doesn't hide from that. When she ran don't forget, she ran for president in 2020, and she endorsed almost all of these policies: single-payer healthcare system, where the government would take over the healthcare system. You're right. She called for the banning of fracking. By the way, 75 or 80% of our oil and gas today comes from fracking. So it really shut down our gas development. She's talked about
the state of Pennsylvania. That's going to be hard for her to get over that in Pennsylvania.
That's right. I mean, Pennsylvania is the big state. I'm going to predict on your show, Jan, that whichever candidate wins Pennsylvania is going to win this election. So it's the key state. It is the Keystone State, and it is the key state. And so you're going to see both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris spending a lot of time there. But you make a really good point. Guess what? A lot of the shale gas revolution happened in Pennsylvania. A lot of oil and gas jobs there.
Former White House economic advisor Steve Moore. I like when you come on making predictions, and we will check in with you next week.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.
Thank you.